you're a man, you are married and you are traveling, travel with your wife so that when you are studying and working part-time, your wife can work full-time. Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Life with Jessie. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always stopping by. And if you're just joining me for the first time, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe and join this amazing family. Let's be friends, guys. So I'm just making this video because I think and I feel it's necessary. This video is going to save a lot of people. So please, if you can, please share this video. A lot of persons are migrating from their, most especially Africans, they are migrating from their country to other Western country in search of greener pasture. Fine, I understand it. I understand your reasons. I understand that the fact that you want more, you want better, but please let's face it, most of those people relocating, they is like they are moving from fry pan to fire. Let me explain that. The way they were living in their home country is far better than the way they are living currently where they are. Lots of us want to migrate. Oh, my friend has traveled. I have loads of friends from school that are in the UK now. Some of them are in Canada, some of them are in UK, some of them are um I- in America. But I try as much as I can, as tempting as it is, I try not to like compare myself to them and not to allow the fact that everybody is moving move me. A lot of them have plans and structures already in place for them. You do not know it, neither do you have it. Let's face it, it's not everybody that will tell you the way it is. A lot of persons that have migrated, they are suffering wherever they are now, but they can't tell you why, either because of shame or because they don't want you to know what's going on with them. Most especially if you are the type that have dissuaded them, trying to make them not travel, but they insisted on traveling. They won't want to tell you what they're passing through because they don't want you to either mock them or they don't want to hear the saying "I told you so." So before you travel, before you make that plan to travel, think about these things I'm about to tell you. A lot of persons have good paying jobs, but because everybody's traveling, you too, you also want to travel. Everybody's running to Canada, everybody's running to Canada. Do you know that as good as their system is, as good as their their healthcare system is populated, overpopulated, overcrowded, because people are going there, people are trooping in, and they do not necessarily have the resources to cater for this overcrowded population. Because I mean, every country have their population census, and the government will one way or the other make plans or make policies based on the population they think they have. But then the extra population, they are meant to suffer. They have good healthcare system, but then their healthcare is overpopulated. You are in your country where you can actually, even if I know good healthcare system in Africa is expensive, but when you have your money, it is easy, very easy to get a good healthcare system in this country. Even when you are not so financially buoyant, they still have hospitals. General hospitals in this part of the world is is good to an extent, though they don't really take life as serious as the way outsiders take lives. And I won't really blame them, because when you're working and you're not getting paid or paid well, you start exhibiting negligence to your job. So instead of going to a country where their healthcare system is overpopulated, you might not even be able to get an appointment in 2, 3, 4 months Why not stay in your country where at least you will be attended to? Secondly, high tax. Like the way Canadians are complaining about taxation is alarming. Imagine you working and the government is taking a huge chunk of your salary or of your wages. How would that make you feel? A lot of persons in African countries do not pay tax, they evade taxes. But in Canada, you cannot evade taxes, you must pay tax. Don't just think, oh, you might be saying, oh, my friend is earning €1,000 or €2,000 in a month, and when you convert it to your local currency, oh, it's a huge sum of money. But did the friend tell you how much he or she is paying for tax? Did the friend tell you how much he or she is paying for accommodation? Did the friend tell you how much he or she is paying for food? The friend tell you how much he or she is paying for insurance? A lot of those outside the country will not tell you this because they want you to envy them or to admire them. They don't want you to see the other side. A lot of them, that huge amount of money that when you use your brain to calculate your local currency, I say, oh my God, this lady is earning over £1 million in a month. When you calculate their expenses, you find out that they're actually earning peanuts, because a lot of the money being made in Canada is spent in Canada. Like you are literally making money to survive. There are lots of people that have been there for years and they can't even boast of a land in their own country. Why there are lots of people that are opportune to be there in a year and they already own a house back at home. But everybody is not the same. In as much as you think of the pros of uh going to Canada, also think of the cons, the disadvantages. As you think of the advantages, also think of the disadvantages, because a lot of them will not tell you what they are going through, trust me. So just think about it. Imagine working and all your earnings going to bills. Like you're working, you're paying bills, you're working, you're paying bills. Okay, you see someone earning £2,000, which is rare. But let's say someone is earning £2,000, or let's say someone is earning £1,500 in a month, and their house rent is about £600 to £700. How much do we have? Like half of the money, or half of their salary is gone for rent, just rent alone. Worst come to worst is if you're traveling as a student with a student visa. You know, students are only allowed to work part-time. They have just limited hours as a student that you can work. You are not allowed to work full-time. Imagine then, what are you going to do? How are you going to cope? Worse still, I've seen families where the husband is the student, the wife is pregnant, and they traveled with their children. How do you expect to survive? Because the wife obviously cannot work because she's either pregnant, because there are a lot of employers that are not willing to employ a pregnant employee, because you're going to slow down their work, you're going to slow down their business. They will not say it needs paying you for work that you won't be able to do. And not only pregnant, even if you are not pregnant, you have kids, you have toddlers. How are you going to take care of? There is no back home where you can easily tell your neighbor, please, can you help me watch my child? Over there, nobody will help you watch your child. It is everybody for himself and God for us all. Imagine your husband is thinking about his tuition fee, he's thinking about feeding, he's thinking about accommodation, and he cannot even work a full-time job because he's a student. There are some employers that are not even willing to employ a student. So how do you cope? Imagine working back home and at all, or no matter how bad it is, Nigeria English, at all, no matter how bad it is, you're able to earn like maybe 250,000 naira or 300,000 naira in a month. Like combined resources, you have up to 300,000 naira in a month. You are not hungry. You can easily pay your rent. You can easily pay the children's school fees, and you can do whatever you want. You left that opportunity to go for a land unknown. And some of them, they'll be like, oh, God spoke to me, God spoke to me this. My sister or my brother, if you already have a mindset of a particular thing, you already say, oh, this is what I'm doing, and you've already decided this is what you want to do, and you not pray about it, my brother and my sister, even if God is speaking to you or turning you to the opposite direction, you will never listen or you will never hear him, because your mind is centered on that thing that you've already decided that you want to do. Before you take that journey, a lot of persons are suffering. They can't even come back, because when they come back, they are already in debt, because obviously they borrowed money to travel. By the time they come back, they're not even thinking of coming back, because they won't even survive it. A lot of them that have no other option that come back, they either run into depression, or they start drinking, or they start doing things that they never imagined they do. Their life turns upside down because they never bargained for it. If you must travel, travel to a less expensive country, and let it be that traveling is your last resort. Let it be that, oh, the reason why you are traveling is to either gain experience or gain exposure, not traveling in the mindset of, oh, I want to work to come back and pay debt. It will be very difficult. If you're a man, you are married and you are traveling, travel with your wife, so that when you are studying and working part-time, your wife can work full-time and support you. If you have kids and you cannot leave the kids behind, stay behind, and do not apply with a student visa. Apply with a work visa, so that you can be able to work like you are going there to work, and not with the disguise of learning or schooling. A lot of persons are regretting, they are complaining, they are crying, and it breaks my heart every time. I heard of a story of a man that was earning, I think, either 500,000 naira or either 1 million 500,000 naira monthly, and the person quit his job to travel outside the country to go and be washing toilets, because he found out that the grass is not so green outside. So instead of putting your family through all those hardship, all those stress, all those pains, all those suffering, why not stay back and build yourself first? If you have kids, take care of your kids first, because schools are very expensive outside the country. Schools do not come cheap. You find out that you might be working and using your money to pay bills while you have debts back home. If you must travel, make sure you don't have any outstanding debts back home, and make sure traveling was your last resort. Canada, that you are saying, oh, I want to go to Canada. Do you know that they have age restrictions to work? There is a limited age that when you get to a certain age, you won't be allowed to work. You'll be retired automatically. You'll be retired. Lastly, make sure you've been able to build a personal life before traveling. Because when you travel, except you're someone that do not have direction, the only thing in your head is work. Most especially if you are going with student visa, the only thing in your head is work and study, because you will not have personal life. A lot of them there that are not married, they find it difficult to get married. A lot of them have to call people back home, please look for a wife for me. They marry by proxy, like their sibling, either their brother or their uncle have to stand. in gap for them to go and get married traditionally though, because they do not have time to build personal relationship. So with all this thing I've said, if you feel that, oh, you're not affected in any way by this thing I've said, fine, you can travel. But before you travel with your family, with your kids, think twice. If you can go through the hardship, your kids might not be able to do that. It might affect them psychologically. If you must travel with your family, travel with a work visa, or your dependent, who is your spouse, should be able to work full time. That is either you don't have kids, or they are all grown ups and they can take care of themselves. So thank you very much for watching. I duly and sincerely appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.
Happy, look at me. Oh, cutie.